Here's another through the lock modified pliers. Start out with 10-inch groove pliers, a 4 or 6-in-1 screwdriver with the bits in them. One thing I need to explain to you is use your turnout gear for your measurements and your needs. The 10-inch pliers were too tall to fit down in my pockets without sticking out, so I made them 9 inches. Then I lengthened the short handle with the cam lock and shortened the longer handle and put this, that way it won't puncture your pocket, it protects itself. There's no need to worry about stabbing anything. A few problems I ran into was measurements. You need to keep in mind for the cam lock part, practice. Make sure it's not too big, not too small, it'll fit in there. You need at least 2 inches to fit down into a commercial lock effectively. The problem I ran into when I made this last one, I didn't. It wouldn't go down far enough, so it's useless, so I ground it off some more and wound up grounding down into the socket part. So now I decided to make another one. Live and learn. I did the same thing. 10-inch pliers, cut them down, but instead of this, is actually welded on top of the handle like this. And the reason I chose the 5/16 over the quarter is the 1/4-inch one, honestly, if I use a screwdriver that small, it's something minor, smoke detector install, something like that. I wanted something for commercial use. 5/16 does all AC units, and if I'm inside of a commercial building, I don't want to have to go out to the truck. If I'm inside of a house, I can go out to a truck. So I learned on the newer one, when I cut the tube, the 5/16, you know, that's the middle, cut back here a little bit. Just don't worry about the 1/4-inch one, just waste it, because I put so much heat on here when I welded. I let that in there and it deformed it because it's thin, it's cheap, I know, but I was trying. So I cut the next one off more. I cut the handle off right here on this one, but then I cut the handle off right about here. Found a piece of square tubing. I know I don't hear nothing about my welding, but it holds. And sleeved it. I tacked them in the middle, sleeved it with the square tubing. And remember, hockey tape will cover all welds, no matter how nasty. It's now straight and line. Then the other problem, to keep it from being this right here and poking through my turnout gear, and that poking through my turnout gear, I wanted them to meet without touching each other, just like this one. So I made the cam lock a little bit longer, and I practiced, and it still fits, it still functions. I'm probably going to add a little bit more weld to the that handle, grind it down, tape it up, but yeah. The only thing I can tell you is if you decide to make one of these, it's not as easy as heating up with a propane torch. It's just very convenient. And if you want something simpler to do, I would suggest making just a little cam lock. Figure out how you want it, practice with it, weld it onto a handle, cut this one shorter. I know I can sharpen the handles to be a flathead screwdriver like I did these, but there's so much variance in needing a width and thickness that I found these $1.99 screwdrivers to be the best fit for 85% of what I need. These I'll probably weld onto some smaller pliers and make them some other tool. Like I said, if you want the full 10-inch, that's great. I wanted 9 inches. That way they stick up just enough. And the best part is when they're in your pocket, You can stick your hand down in there even with the glove on, find them, pull up, you got them. And that way they cover each other. Handle's a little crooked because I didn't have nothing to hold it, but it'll work. And of course you can do anything else you want like that. I got the idea because I got tired of carrying extra crap. Then I realized a guy made a thing called fire pliers, who actually took one of these, cut it in half, and welded it onto each end of the plier. That's a great concept, but I just have no use for the 1/4 inch, and I'd rather have a threaded-lock tool. So just make sure you measure, have at least 2 inches from the tip of the screwdriver back here, as small as you can be, to get into any kind of loop after you pull the handle off. Double check your cam, make sure it works, weld it all together, make sure it fits. You just have to play with your measurements on this, and you can make them even shorter. I like to have the bigger jaw so you can grab stuff. As for leverage, this is about as big as it need to go. Anything bigger, you start pulling the handles together. So I like it. I'm going to try to make some improvements, and good luck.